appreciate it on behalf of the Board of Education and Cumberland County Schools. We're excited to have Mr. Chamberlin be willing to come out and publicly show the plans and the direction we're moving in. One thing that some people have already asked about is the location. I asked Mr. Chamberlin to show us what that footprint would look like where it's next to the fine arts side of the building. So currently the tennis courts have to be completely redone, so he's kind of mocked up what that would look like if we were able to go that route too, if the board decided to do that. But currently you can see the footprint is on the side of the band room, choir room, and other fine arts. So that was what he's showing this evening, and we're excited. We're excited. Once this evening's over, it goes back to the Building and Grounds Committee, and they go through approval process, and then it goes to the board, and then they start on the construction specs and those things, which will take 60 to 90 days probably, and then the bid process. So that's the skinny of it that I know as of right now. But I'm going to turn it over to the expert, Mr. Chamberlain.
It's a pleasure to be here. This has been a long time coming, as everybody knows. Yes, we want to go back all the way back to the mid-'60s, late '60s is when it first got stirred, but we've tried. So I'm glad to be able to present it. And as Mr. Stepp said, we've gone through some meetings with the staff at the school and a lot of discussion about where the auditorium should be. And it made sense to be where we located it with functions within the school. Currently, just to get everybody oriented, there we go. Stanley Street, Miller, 4th Street over here. So this is what you see in the fence, existing footprint of the high school. This is where the band room is, choir room, wrestling room over here. So that's kind of that arts area. This is the field house, soccer field, football stadium, the large parking lot. This is where we're proposing the location to be. Right now, there's 8 tennis courts out there. What we're doing is looking at taking 2 of those away, so there'll be 6 tennis courts left. Speaking with the principal, I think that everything's fine there. That's consistent with what's at stone as well. So rather than having to build 8 back, we're building 6 back. So we're saving some dollars there long term when the tennis court replacement comes in. So what we're doing then is taking up 2 of those tennis courts and then out into the parking lot. One of the concerns that we had with the staff was being able to keep this drive through to 4th Street. This is where student parking is. That's where the egress is. Students are leaving typically. So that stays open. What we're proposing, there's a corridor that comes out of F point, up my middle here. E. There we go. We're putting a new connector that comes out with a covered canopy that will get students out to this location. So all they're having to do is walk across the drive and be able to go into the building. So it gives, I think, good access. It works well. We lose about 60 parking spaces. We're still, if my memory's right, we're still over, we're up about 600, total about 650 parking spaces still on the site. So again, talking with the staff, they felt like that was a compromise worth making to get the building into this location. So what we're doing, we'll have a formal entrance right here. We'll see some renderings here in a minute. Come into the lobby and then the main auditorium portion of the building. Any questions on the site? I'll move to the floor plan. Yes, sir?
Well, I have nothing to do with the school system, but we use this for fine arts, for community band and the Southern Star. What is behind the choir room in that green area? It's a light green area?
Back here?
Correct. Okay. It just seems to me that as an independent person, that every school I've been in, when they've had a nice facility like that, it's adjacent to, so that you can really roll your equipment directly from the band room directly into the theater. Same would be true, I assume, for choir, for fine arts or anything. There isn't, and the plan you looked at to say, well, what if you rotated your choir room somehow, and you had your thing over there, you'd save 60 parking spaces, which, if that's a 1,200 seat auditorium, you're gonna need all the parking spaces you can.
We talked about it. We
looked at all areas to fit it, and this is the closest we can get according to what we're doing.
Okay.
The other thing, remember, this is going to be very public access. If we locate back here, all of the parking's up here, it makes lousy access to get to the lobby into the entrance of the building. That was one of the things we did talk about. We did look at that, so it's not something that was ignored. It was just felt like this becomes such an entity for the public that having a presence, being able to get to it easily and have that access was important. And again, I think, you know, we've got straight access coming to the band room located in here. Again, there's a direct access to get into a back door. It goes right onto the stage. So it's about as adjacent as it would be if it was back here. And again, oriented with the lobby would have to be at the front. So all the stage area ends up in the back. So it's kind of a trade-off between the two.
Could you tell us about how big the auditorium is being planned to be built and how many seats? Is it similar in size as Stone High School?
Similar to Stone, almost identical.
Really?
Just under 1,200 seats. This is the floor plan. Main entrance into the building here. 2 pairs, sets of doors, lobby area, restrooms on both sides. Got the concession stand in front, ticket booth. This becomes a sound stage. There's an office area, storage area off of the sound room, office, and then vestibule areas going into the auditorium. And the auditorium footprint is almost identical to Stone, so it's just under 1,200 seats. The stage, again, same thing, almost exact size of what's in Stone as well. A little bit different configuration in the back. If you're familiar with Stone, it's got a large area that's narrow that runs the entire back. Because of the way that this works out, we've got dressing rooms, prop storage, costume storage areas. So area's the same, just a little bit different configuration. So if you're familiar with Stone, walking into here, obviously we'll do things different treatment-wise and things like that as far as colors and stuff like that, but it's going to feel and look like the same space.
Does it have a theater fly space?
No fly space, no ma'am. Now again, that's consistent with stuff. Fly spaces add a lot from a fire marshal standpoint, and
Well, that's a lot of theater.
yeah. But no, that was a decision made years ago, so I'm staying consistent with that. Obviously, a lot of the things, the features in it will be different. We'll be looking at LED lighting, sound system will be a different kind of system because things have changed in, was it been 15, 16 years, I guess, since we did that. So, but again, the technology side of it will be updated, but again, the space itself, pretty much the same as stuff.
Another question, sorry, but best case scenario, if you get all your approvals and we have the budget and everything like that, what's the best time frame when this will be completed?
Best time frame, if we get construction started at the first of the year is kind of our target. After that, probably about 18 months.
18 months? Thank you.
Again, we're living nowadays based upon material shortages and issues there, so I always hedge my bets anymore, but it's, if we can get materials, larger projects tend to meet their material delivery better just because they have longer lead times as they're building the building before the things come into it. HVAC, electrical, those things are driving us all crazy right now. Any questions on the plan?
Sorry, and if you're gonna cover this later, I'll be glad to hold it, but I have some questions about the sound booth that you have shown there.
No, now's your
Now's the
chance.
time I can ask that. I know that there are people here from the drawing department and people that you will be utilizing it. The current situation is Stone, which is basically a booth at which you're recessed in there. Whenever we do concerts, it's always like we can't hear to do adjustments to the sound system because we're inside of this booth. I would hope that you would look at and speak to other people other than myself, because I don't do anything with sound. Is there a way to make that more open so that the people in that booth have an ability to really hear what the sound is so they can adjust it properly?
We can open up the width of the space itself. It's about 16 feet across.
I'm talking about the sound booth.
I'm talking about the sound. Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, having a closed sound, sorry, I'm the drama teacher at CCHS. And having the sound booth closed like they typically are is useful when you're calling a show. But ideally, it would be good to have monitors and to have headsets to be able to speak and listen. If you have monitors from the stage and from the auditorium, that way you can still hear your sound booth. And have the sound booth be closed so that your stage managers, whoever's calling your lights and sound, can actually
their performance, so their sound is out in the auditorium. But again, it's not a multi-purpose, it's full floor performance. You need a plan? This would be a look kind of coming up from the entrance from Standing Street. And again, a lot of these things we're still kind of working on, but the thought is we put some framework and stone, kind of keep it with the main building. But again, due to the size, obviously we don't want to put framework and stone on all of this, just from a cost standpoint. Plus it would be, I think, very overpowering. Covered entrance. And then a lobby space, again, similar to stone, you know there's some highlight, some natural light down into the lobby. Big closer shot. That would be a canopy coming from the existing building, the wall across the students would take the shade. Looking from the top of the stadium.
Nice.
This would be looking from 4th Street. Oh, sorry. Again, these are insulated metal panels that we're showing on the walls right here. To get the insulation quality of an all block building, so from a sound standpoint, shouldn't have any issues with exterior noise. These are very durable, no maintenance required.
Again,
It's dark.
there'll still be, to get access to the soccer field, still between here and the field house.
Yep, we still have access, that's kind of the field house where it goes to the John, we still have that path, right back through there, we're staying out of that. Going all the way. That would be looking low from the stadium side.
Kim, can you back it up one? That back corner here, what it looks like it's a top of it, yes. Is that a load-in door for being the load?
That's into the prop.
Oh, it goes into the prop.
And this door goes right into the corridor that runs between the back of the stage, props, and dressing room.
Okay, but I remember there was a narrow hallway between the props area.
Correct.
And the stage itself. So I'm talking about if you had to come in with bigger items, will you be able to like make a turn there? Yeah, thank you.
This area right here, we're not showing it, we will have doors right there that give you direct access to that, like we have on this side.
So you could come in, it looks like you got an access door perpendicular to it right there.
Yep.
And you could then come into the stage.
Correct. Those are large 8-foot open. That's it in a nutshell.